evening, everyone, and welcome to a fresh edition of La Presse Refait le Match. Well, tonight we will be delving into the intricacies of match day 4 and 5 of the elite playoffs. Currently, Colombe Sportive is eagerly pursuing a triumphant 3-point finish against Dynamo of Douala at the Bona Moussadi Stadium. Well, this match, along with other exciting fixtures, will form the crux of today's lineup. Welcome everybody to La Presse Refait le Match. Well, still at the Bona Moussadi Stadium, we've seen Victoria United defeat none other than Canon Sportif of Yaoundé 3-0. Like I said, these games and many more will be discussed in tonight's program. Well, I have two guests of 4 with me in the studio, and I talk about young sports team manager and acclaimed football writer G. Nelson Chefo. I hope I got that right.
You got it right. You pronounce it like someone in town. And if you are from the village, it's tofu.
It's tofu. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Welcome. We're happy to have you today.
It's a pleasure to be here, ONI, to share a little I know about football with your viewers.
It's always a pleasure to, get to talk about football with you, because you're not just one who is knowledgeable about teams in the Northwest region, but teams across Cameroon as a football writer, and it's going to be an interesting evening.
Definitely, I've done a lot when it comes to covering football in across the country. I have a lot of experience while I was working on radio and also with kick442.com.
Oh, okay. I mean, I actually enjoy an article you wrote on Chindo John Bosco. It's like in 2 parts. I'm guessing after the playoffs, they're going to see part 3.
Definitely, part 3 is going to come up.
That's true. So another guest today is none other than a sports analyst and also a referee. But every time we meet, he never likes it when I talk about him being a referee, but he's still a referee. It's none other than you, Lucas Teme. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, yeah. Good afternoon to the co-panelists. Good afternoon to all the televiewers, and good luck to the Yosa team that has been met by maybe Colombe Sportive of Chailobo. Yosa has 10 points, and yes. If Colombe wins today, Colombe will certainly have 10 points, and this situation will launch the championship. Maybe Colombe will gain the first title of his history, and maybe Yosa will gain the first title of his history. Today, it will be amazing to see that in this Cameroon tournament we have 2 teams that are equally in the same position, and these are the teams that have not yet won the championship.
Well, we'll see how it goes if Clément Ahoga is no longer on the coaching bench for Dynamo of Douala. So it's going to be an interesting encounter. We're going to talk about that, right? Yeah, he's no longer there, and we're going to discuss about that in our Elite News page. But, I was hoping to see something really fantastic. We cannot see that they have changed the entire technical staff. Unfortunately, like you talk about relaunching the championship, I think it has been relaunched again because Victoria United defeated none other than Canon Sportif, even with their new technical crew. 3-0, a brace by Richmond G, and a penalty converted by none other than the very, very popular Wilfred Douala Nathan. Well, we'll get to see that penalty in the course of the show. But now that we've welcomed you both, I wanted to say those watching us at home, we will have 2 people join us in the course of the show. I talk about Henry Wana and Eugene Timan. Well, Henry Wana is a sports journalist, and Eugene is a former footballer. He has played in the MTN Elite Championship, and so it will be interesting to see what he has to say about these games, about amazing players like Chindo John Bosco, like I think of this guy that has scored 4 free kick goals for Colombe Sportive, Randy Toué, the captain of Colombe Sportive. We'll get to talk about that when they join us. But now that we have you guys, I guess it's time for us to unveil the package of today's program. I'd start first with our first segment, which is the Elite News. Opening On the Elite News page today, we talk about Yves Clément Aroga. Well, he is no longer the coach of Dynamo of Douala. The ex-Bamoutus of Buda's Gaffer has attended his resignation to club officials, citing several key issues that have prompted this decision. First is the club's administrative amateurism. Well, he was served 2 unjustified requests for explanation, accompanied by a suspension. He has also highlighted financial discrepancies. Well, the club has failed to fulfill its financial obligations, the distribution of salaries and match bonuses, leading to frustration amongst players and staff. The Gaffer has also stated the club owes him about 3 million based on the terms of his contract, which he did not reveal in his resignation letter sent to the administration of Dynamo of Douala. Well, he has talked of how the sale of Atiba mid-season weakened his team, reasons why they are unable to win any game. The 4 games he has been with them so far in the playoff, they have not won any of those games. However, he has successfully fulfilled his own end of the bargain, which was to maintain the club in the MTN Elite 1 Championship. Talk about this very particular case. Clément Aroga resigning mid-season. What do you think about it?
I think Clément Aroga was not faithful to his philosophy. You know, Clément Aroga is a coach that has made up thinking that he used to work with youth, and when he was appointed to by Dynamo, he did not recruit youth them to work with them, and he recruit only old players. That is why maybe the philosophy of Clément Aroga was not implemented. And when you see a game, the flattering claims that Clément Aroga used to impose to the opponent team was not quite visible. That is why in Douala he didn't win anything when he was holding a team. And the other things is that maybe the type of the player that he has recruited, Dynamo has recruited, was not about to learn from the philosophy of the Clément Aroga. I can talk about the match here, Dynamo against Avril Douala, where he replaced Mr. Momaso, and when Momaso went out of the team, he removed the captain band and threw it on the ground to say that he's not certain, and he don't approve what Clément Aroga is doing, because he wanted to.
But that was a long time ago.
Yes, that was a long time ago. It is true. But after, what did he do? What did he do? Because for Dynamo, we didn't see, and you have a player such as Musio, a young player that you didn't put him to the game. Up till now, Musio has not yet played a single game, and there are many young players that you have recruited that you don't want to impose them within the game. How will you be? How will Dynamo be succeeded when you don't want to play with youth players?
So the problem is youth players. Atiba, you say, is old, actually was a good side. I mean, he highlighted how the fact that they sold Atiba mid-season is what has weakened the team right up to this point.
But he sold Atiba, but he lent Batum to Colomb. And Batum was that player that that defeated Dynamo when for the away match of Dynamo, when they went to Yaoundé to play. Batum scored 2 goals, and if you see Batum now in Colomb, Batum used to score all the top game of Colomb. When there is a game, if Batum doesn't score, Colomb will not win the game, and that's the terrible mistake he has done. Maybe because they recruited many players to Dynamo, and he didn't know how to manage them.
Okay, he didn't know how to manage, but actually we had Enes Mabuka some time ago, and he talked about he was served about the club's unprofessionalism displayed every time. He was served his suspension letter via text. They just sent him a text message. He told us that at that time was going through a really tough time in his life, and when they wanted to suspend him, they sent a text message to him?
To Mr.
Enes Mabuka.
The problem is that in Dinamo there was this conflict of persons.
So it's like the club is known for, you know, it's not really professional when it comes to dealing with situations.
Yes, that is a professional Cameroon professionalism. You know, in Cameroon there is not the professionalism in Cameroon is not conceived as a professionalism in Europe or in the South Africa. But you know, in Dinamo, one of the matter of Dinamo is a conflict of person. You know, Mr. Mabuka has just had the license, the ACF license, and the thing Mr. Aroga doesn't know to coach or to train teams. That is why at times Mr. Mabuka uses to give instructions to player. And behind there was a sport director, Mr. Mabuka, who used when you were going to the training section of Dinamo US, it will not be amazing to see that at times it is Mr. Likumba, the sport director that used to train players. That is what I'm saying, that it was a problem of the conflict of person according to the degree that everybody has. Okay,
well, we have another guest that has joined us in tonight's show, and that is Eugene Tima, a former footballer. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. I'm happy to be here for the very first time. I hope I'll be up to the task.
Well, it's going to be an interesting one because I mean, I was talking to G before the show started, and I said you have played for Young Sports Academy.
Yeah, once that's back when I was still very young with the likes of Cognijude. We all started there in Young Sports Academy, and since there, you know, football is something that. If your destiny is not towards that way, you just need to actually divert and go into something else.
Yeah, so apart from Young Sports, what other teams have you played for?
I also started with the Bako Boys, the mother team of the Northwest region.
WD?
Yeah, things never worked well. I had to go to Young Sport Academy from there, and I tried some few opportunities in South Africa and run back to my country in Cameroon, which I ended up with the Union of Douala for about a season, and I find myself where I am today, and I'm still the guy who had a spot of the submarines of the Northwest region. You know, when you hear anything that comes from where it's a region, you just need to be very happy.
The region of the gentlemen.
And the land of hospitality.
Land of hospitality.
And very proud to see that my region, which I come from, is actually having about 6 elite teams. Yeah, including
both LE1 and LE2.
Both LE1 and LE2. Even the female sector, we are also represented. I mean, if you come from a region like that, just say you are blessed.
You indeed are blessed. I can see NG smiling from ear to ear. That's beautiful to know. You know, having 6 teams in the MTN Elite 1 and 2 championship is no biscuit. Unfortunately, just one has been able, you know, to make it to the playoff up in both sections. I talk about Baphomet, who is really struggling at the moment, you know, in the MTN Elite 2 playoff up, and the Young Sports Academy, who has been doing brilliantly well in the playoff up. But the rest, Union that you've played for, PWD, are all in the relegation playoff.
You know, it's really sad to see that it seems like Union of Douala is struggling for the playoff down, and the Bakwa Boys also. But I just believe that, you know, sometimes when you are not really up to the task, you need to drop down and actually come up very strongly, as Young Sport Academy did last season from Survivor. And now, who did ever believe that we will see Young Sport at the same position? Nobody ever believed. And you see, it's not something bad to actually drop and you come back up very strong. And that's what the big guns like Union and PWD Bamenda need to really work very hard, so that next season that is going to be a new format. The former the 2
polls is going to go back to one
normal poll, which we are going to play. I hope those teams.
I hope they survive even from relegation, because it's been draws after draws.
They are going to survive. They are going to survive. It's just a matter of time. It's about 5 matches again to play. They are going to survive. those two teams are going to survive.
You're hopeful PWG of Bamenda can bounce back?
Why not?
Okay.
Why not? I hope PWG and Union Sportive of Douala, they are going to bounce back.
No, Union has been doing so well with under the leadership of Ndumbe Busso, and hopefully not Dieudonné, it's actually, what's his name again? No, the one that joined PWD from
Nankam.
Yes, Olivier Nankam will bring in a better energy that will push them through. Well, moving away from Dynamo de Douala, let's talk about Canon Sportif of Yaoundé. Canon Sportif of Yaoundé has engaged the services of Jules Abba Onana as replacement for Sik Joseph Tangana. Canon will still, to win any match, is hoping to save face with the remaining playoff games. Unfortunately, in his first task, that was against Victoria United today, the entire technical crew fell to the hands of Victoria United, 0-3. Julian Onana has experience in the league with stints at Tonnerre, Colombe, Academy, Niom 2, and he comes in with a new technical crew as well. Now, what change do you think this new gaffer? Unfortunately, this is a question I prepared, but now I don't even know if it has a place, seeing that they've lost this game. But moving forward, how does his experience, how do you think it can impact this team moving forward? Chinji, I'm asking you that question.
Well, Oni, I think that bringing in Jules Abba at this stage of the competition, Canon is one of those teams that they are looking. The demand from its supporters and management is very high, and bringing in a coach at this time, if that coach is unable to perform now, I don't think Canon will be able to keep that coach till the start of next football season. If you look at their first performance under the leadership of the said coach, it's very poor as compared to their other matches.
Yes.
Losing to Victoria United 0-3 in the space of 13 minutes, and your team was unable to even play the football that we saw Canon playing.
Not even 30 minutes. Not even 30 minutes. Because I'm just coming from the field. It's within the space of 9 minutes that the goals were being scored, the 3 goals here.
And Canon has not been able to play the football that we saw them play for the past 4 playing days. It's a very dismal performance from Canon, and it's now like a tradition for Canon during these playoffs, because they are always good during the regular season, and when they get to the playoffs, it's always a problem. The same thing happened to them last season. This is the same thing we are witnessing this season. They are yet to record any win. They have just 2 points, and now they are tailing the classification table in the playoffs up. So it's going to be a very difficult task, taking into consideration that Canon, they still have 2 matches to go, and they are playing teams against Young Sport. Their last match is going to be against Gazelle. Gazelle that also wants to be among the top 4 of the league this season. So it's going to be a very difficult last 2 matches for Jules Abba at the helm of Canon.
It's going to be a very difficult game. I mean, I remember the words of Coach Dikum, who says he wants to win these last 2 games as they are determinant, for him to get the trophy. But will Canon leave it? Then we'll see how it unfolds. It makes the entire situation seems so interesting for everyone watching these playoffs. Now, moving away from, changing technical crews and not yielding or seeing results, let's talk about something really positive, and that is Randy Toure. Now, Randy Toure has been nicknamed the free kick master. He is the captain of Colombe Sportif, and he has scored 4 goals for this side. And all of these 4 goals have come from a free kick. This is the one he executed at the Bipanda Next Stadium against Union Sportive, and it was a goal. They won that game. And just last week, Saturday, he executed something like this to see, Colombe defeat Victoria United by 3-1. 3 goals to 1.
3 goals to 1.
Yeah, 3 goals to 1. So this is it. I think this is the best. If you want someone to score a set piece for you, call Randy Toure. But I want to hear from you, Eugene. We don't have so many players with this profile, in the league.
It's really a sad one, because in our Cameroon league, it's difficult to find players having the same profile like this. You know, sometimes in Young Sport Academic, I'm a player like Gordon Neville. One-time captain, he was a master of this same arc, and he scored about 7 goals from this same
and even when Ramsey was a player of Young Sport, he's not new to scoring goals like that.
Yeah. So I would just say Colomb is very lucky to have someone like Ramsey, and just need to keep on working. And why other young legs of, I think, this player with Victoria United, Richmond, he has tried something. He has scored about 2 goals from the same free kicks. I hope many others are going to copy and see how we can ameliorate our playing styles, and having opportunities from spot kicks like that one can actually change the face of a match. And if I want to comment on that same action that we actually say a few seconds ago, I would say it's really a disgrace to the defense, because you can't have a free kick like that one, and then the defense is just static like that without doing any effort. You see, it's a very big fraud from the defense sector of was it Opopo?
No, it was Union.
No, that was against Union. That was just a demonstration. Yeah, we're just trying to demonstrate.
It's really a disgrace for a team, for the defense sector of that club, that they couldn't do anything. Because if you look at the way the ball, he actually kicked the ball, going very slowly, and everybody was just like, wow.
It was a confusing one. I mean, for me,
when you're a defender, I'm talking because I was a defender.
I
was a defender.
We'll get to your defense. Thank you. The problem is, the reason why I don't want us to stay on this action is because it happened some time ago, really long. This was during the regular phase of the season, and we've had to talk about this action. This was just to demonstrate, because we could not get images of that free kick he scored against Victoria United, just to demonstrate some of his works in the Elite One Championship. But now, let's rush it over as we are behind time, which is we talk about Kache Boris, and 5 goals in 2 games. He scored 5 goals. This is one player you are familiar with. He played for Rangers in Bafut, in Bamenda. You're from Bamenda. You must have watched his games. What kind of qualities do you have? Because the goal scoring chart is quite dominated. We have Kache on 15 goals, Jules on 15 goals, and Richmond, who now has 16 goals, courtesy his brace scored today against Canon Sportive. But you look at it, do you think he has the ability to beat the other two? I finish.
Only if you want to see a player who is patient, a player who is disciplined, a player who is hardworking, a player who is always ready to take corrections from his coaches, then look for Kache Boris. While he was playing for Rangers FC Bafut in Bamenda, he is that one player that, despite the salary situation of the team, despite the fact that the players were not financially motivated, he was always around. He was always present for training sessions. Even when the team was boycotting training, he had his personal coach in town, and he was always training. He emerged as top goal scorer in the Elite 2 Championship with 16 goals, and this is his first season in the Elite 1 Championship, and he already has 15 goals. When he joined Bambutus of Buda, many people thought that the pressure is going to be immense on him, but when the Ghanaian coach took over Bambutus, Kache was not a starter.
True.
Kache was always coming from the bench to score goals, and there were sometimes that he wasn't even on the list of the coach to play.
True.
Despite the fact that he has missed so many matches, he has now come back in full force, and he's scoring goals for Bambutus of Buda as they are currently fighting to stay in the Elite 1 Championship. So Kache is one player who is very hardworking, and it's not surprising that he's scoring goals now, and he's even among the top goal scorers. Don't be surprised that by the end of the championship, the Elite One play downs, they still have 5 matches to go.
True.
They still have 5 matches to go, and it will not be a surprise if Kache emerges as top scorers, because for the Elite One playoffs up, they have 2 matches to go, and after the 2 games, Kache will still be playing, and definitely he will still have opportunities to score. So he is the favorite to emerge as a top scorer.
But he has, a really great competitor, Jules Manco.
That's another person who is also in the play down.
Yes.
So it's going to be a battle between the two of them when the others will already be done with the championship.
But if you're supposed to put your money on someone, who would you go for?
I'll put my money for Kachi.
For Kachi? Is it because you are familiar with Kachi?
Not that. Not because I'm familiar with Kachi. If you look at the goals that he has scored, if you want to count the number of penalties in it as compared with that of Jus Amankwa, you discover that Kachi is a better player. And Richmond.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. These two players have scored many penalties more than Kachi.
So you think you all are unanimously saying that Kachi might likely win the Golden Boot just compared to...
He's a favorite to win the Golden Boot.
Well, that's good. We'll see how that unfolds. You know, who wins it? Is it Kachi, Boris? Is it Jules Amanko? Or is it Richmond G? But you made quite a brilliant point. They have about 5 games to go, so anything can happen at that point. Now, Leopard Sporty failed to honor its match day 5 engagement against ISFAB, with management requesting the Sunday fixture to be postponed today. The team has been grappling with financial difficulties, and weeks back they were chased out of their hotels, and according to the club's press release, many players have gone back to their base, but they are doing their possible best to get them back. Moving away from Leopard, we talk about Dragon and Bafmen United. Well, Coach Kabio has stepped down as coach of Bafmen United after a winless run in the playoff. 5 games and no win for this newly promoted side. And Bafmen and Dragon are the lone teams with no wins in the MTN Elite 2 playoff. We see them with 1 point because they played a 2-tie in match day 5. It was quite an interesting game. I remember the last time, you know, Rangers and Leopard met. Rangers actually defeated Leopard. So this time it feels like we all are struggling, but when we meet, our struggles are way on the same level.
And that's the only match Rangers won this season.
Yeah, they got a draw. Just like
if you permit me, let me just say something about Coach Kabio.
Yes, you know, we're supposed to have him on call today.
Coach Kabio is one of those coaches who is very disciplined. You know, he's a teacher in the University of Bamenda, and when it comes to discipline, he doesn't take that for granted. So the woes of Bafmen United during these playoffs up, it all comes from the fact that there are certain indisciplined players who happens to be the key players of that team that the coach suspended.
Okay.
I'm talking about Malachi 4, who happens to be their top scorer in the course of the regular phase of the season, and one of their key defensive midfielders, Ndeye Collins. Those are the 2 players that he suspended. And those players, they missed the first 4 games of the playoffs up under Coach Kabio. And yesterday, while he resigned as coach of the team, and yesterday the caretaker coach, who happens to be the goalkeeper coach of the team, brought in those 2 players. Believe me, those 2 players scored the 2 goals of Bafmen yesterday, and Bafmen picked up a point. So Coach Kabio is one person that, when it comes to discipline, he doesn't take it for granted. Okay. No matter who you are, he keeps you aside and goes ahead. When things are not moving for the team, he steps back, he resigns, he walks away. The same thing happened with him when he was part of Young Sports Academy. We won the first 5 matches of the season, and the next 6 matches we did not win because he suspended players who were key players of the team, but because of indiscipline, those players were suspended and the results were not coming again. So the management had to force him to bring back those players, and he decided to walk away.
To walk away
From the team.
That's not just the problem, because if you want to look at, he's talking about that, it's true, but sometimes you like the head of the train, you need to know how you can manage.
That's another issue.
An error. He went to PWC of Bamenda, the same mess was being occurred there. Young Sport Academy, the same problem. But now Bafmen United, how can a coach of that magnitude suspend key players?
You know, in the course of the season, he had brilliant results with this. Yes, and Bafmen attained its objective, I should say.
There must be a problem.
I mean, look at them against Ice of Hopes Academy. Both teams are qualified. Ice of Hopes Academy is currently struggling in the relegation play down, but Bafmen has played the championship playoff. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked for them in their last games.
That's what I'm trying to say, that Coach Kabio is having a problem. It's a problem that he does not know to manage the group.
Players, yes.
Everywhere that he's going there, it's always the same problem.
Maybe it's his coaching philosophy.
This is the same problem.
That's why it's a person I respect so very much. That's why I say that when it comes to discipline, I don't want to get into other aspects because I've not noticed. But like Mr. Tima is saying, another coach will be able to manage that situation and get the best out of his team. But he is one person that if that player does not want to humble himself and come and ask for forgiveness, he keeps you aside and goes on no matter what happens.
It means that he's not a good coach.
There's something.
If you see coaches such as Pep Guardiola, Mourinho, they used to go to their best players for them to have the result, because at the end of the game they said who has won, who did not play well. Because I heard from the interview of Mr. Kabio, he said, we played well, we used to play well, but we don't score. And you have suspended your key players, and you don't achieve your objectives, because before going to the playoff they gave you some objectives to fulfill, and when you have not fulfilled the objectives, it means that you have failed. Remember when he was in PWG Bamenda was suffering from relegation. After he went to Young Sport Academy of Bamenda last year.
No, he came to PWG Bamenda when they qualified for the Champions League, the CAF Championship. Yeah, he came and he suspended some of the players. They were not playing. The match that they played in Limbe was just a disgrace, and going back to South Africa, it was just,
And during the season, at the end of the season, what did we have? We had that at the end, players have had to suffer to maintain the team. And last year, with Young Sport Academy of Bamenda, thank God for Young Sport Academy of Bamenda that it did not prepare well.
Last year, he wasn't part of
he wasn't.
Last season, he was part of PWD. He played the 2 games in the Champions League and played some few games in the league before he stepped down. Before he stepped down from that position.
Well, we'll see. We're supposed to have him on call. Unfortunately, it can't happen. But hopefully, we'll get him next week. So watch out for that. We'll get to talk to Coach Kabio Martin. What exactly his time with Bafokeng United, how has it been? Hopefully we'll get to talk to him in the next edition. Now, just to close this page, I want us to, move on. Let's relive the splendid fanfare showcased by supporters of Young Sports Academy and Cotton Sport of Garua during the exhilarating 5th day encounter last Monday. Just yesterday, Monday. Let's go relive that moment. Beautiful images. I mean, at one point, you saw Cotton Sport of Garoua. Their supporters were chanting Aleyos after after that goal by Cotton Sport of Garoua. It was a beautiful atmosphere, and I'm sure those of you that are in Bunamusadi, or those that are supposed to be in Bunamusadi, you're going to relieve another fun atmosphere with Colomb supporters and Victoria United, because they too are there, bringing in all the colors that you need to see. Well, it's on that note that we'll put an end to the first segment of the show. Before we move over to the next part of it, I want to welcome sports journalist extraordinaire here in Cameroon's economic capital, one that used to, sit in this chair and look at all these games, analyze them with his panelists. But today he's going to give us insights with all the experience he's gathered over the years. That is none other than you, Wana Henry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Oni, and good afternoon to the gentlemen on the set. It's good to be home.
Indeed.
STV remains my home. Though I'm far away from home, the STV remains my home because STV gave me all what I have today. Yeah.
The home is always in the heart, and we're happy to have you.
For sure.
Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, so let's move over to the second part of the show where we discuss the games. Welcome back. If it's just joining us, it is the La Presse REFAIT le match by on Spectrum Television, and we will be looking at games counting for match day 4 and 5 of the MTN Elite 1 and 2 playoff up and down. Well, first of all, we'll start with match day 5, the just ended game between Victoria United and Canon Sportif of Yaoundé. Well, like we have been saying on the show, Victoria United defeated Canon Sportif, beating them by 3-0. A brace by Richmond Chi with Wilfried Douala Nathan netting from the penalty spot. Let's go watch this image of Wilfried Douala Nathan's goal. I will come back to you, Eugene, as one will watch the game live. First, for us to hear your appraisal of that encounter. Seen it, Douala Nathan scoring his first goal of the playoffs. What do you think about this encounter, Eugene? How was it?
Well, I can see first someone that I don't like to talk about the Men in Black.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I'll start with that because
so I'm referring.
It was just a disgrace this afternoon. Yeah, and it's just like a gem that is moving around when you see Victoria United playing against any other team in the Elite 1 Championship. I don't know what the referee commission is actually doing about the referees, that handle matches, because I will bet with you that it was just a total disgrace. The referee could not permit Canon to proceed with this game. Yeah, it seems like he was on a mission. No matter that Canon is down there. No matter that Canon is down, Canon had nothing. Also,
yeah, because I saw some really clear goal scoring opportunities that they missed.
Yeah, no, apart of that, from the first segment of the game was just a mess. I will reflect like the game that was being played against Young Sport Academic. That between Young Sport Academic and Victoria United, okay. That people cried foul. Everybody was there. But what was the referee commission? Since then, what has the referee commission ever done? Nothing. They've given deaf ears. And the same thing happens again today.
You've forgotten yesterday as well. Ladonette Gazelle.
No. So it's just, I don't know what is actually happening. If that's the way they're supposed to handle matches, that they have to program champions before the end of the league, is a mess. We're coming back to what actually happened on the field. It's true that they had some clear chances and they had to exploit them, and they have their goals. It's good for them, and they should continue. I would just say they should continue to go ahead, because it's a disgrace. There's nothing even to write about. Apart of the referee, there's nothing to write about. It's a disgrace to actually talk about what happened today.
Okay, well, I want to ask you a question. This is, I want to really talk about Paul-Henri Tchike. He's one of the best playmakers in the regular phase with over 5 assists.
Yeah.
But we've seen he's been almost inexistent in these playoffs. What has been happening with Paul-Henri Tchike? Because you see some clear chances, some crosses that he gives, it doesn't really work out for him at this point.
Because he doesn't have pulse.
Accumulation of matches also.
In Canon, they have decided to put Ngong Neville aside. If you see a player such as Tchike, Djibanda, Tongfak, if they perform well, it is because Ngong Neville is there. Because Ngong Neville has that opportunity to give deeper ball to the players and to create opportunity for them to improve them. The talent, when he's not there, it is normal. It's quite normal that Tchike and all those young players cannot perform.
So at this point, should Canon be preparing for the Cup of Cameroon, or try to save face against Young Sports Academy and the last game?
Maybe they recruited Jules Abonana for that, because Canon is already maintained. And for those who think that when Canon dropped the season that they dropped, it was better for them, because when they came back,
they came back better,
and this is a third season that they have played the play up. But for me, to resign Mr. Atangana was not a good idea.
But he's sick.
Well, he's sick, but they should recruit manager and the assistant manager.
An interim coach, you mean?
Yes, the manager and the assistant. When the top manager is not there, the assistant can take over and continue with what the top manager has left. But they have sacked Mr. Atangana because he's not well, he's not feeling fine, and they recruit Jude Nyodana, and the result is there. There was beaten today by Opopo 3 goals to 2-1. Maybe I cannot.
3 goals to 0.
I cannot dive into what
that's true.
my co-panelist says. As I said, but it is quite true. But we do with that. But we think this season, because of what the referees have been doing, we will have the good champion, and that champion can be Young Sport Academy of Bamenda. It can be maybe Colon Sportif of Jav Lobo.
It can be Coton Sport. It can be Victoria United. There's chance for everybody. Victoria is on 9 points. Same with Coton Sport.
Do you want me to say something?
No, don't say anything, please. Well, let's move over. Let's move over to the next game, because we cannot really get into that game in depth since we just watched some parts of it. Let's talk about the game most of us watch, if not all of us, and that is the game Coton Sport against Young Sports Academy. Well, it was a beautiful encounter at the Mapelepe Stadium. Both sides shared spoils. After the game ended on a 1-0 draw, Lamine Traoré opened scores at the 22nd minute, with Chindo John Bosco equalized equalizing from the spot at the 58th minute. But I want to tell you, Young Sport had so many chances to kill that game, but missed all of them. Let's go look at some of those chances. You look at these tons of opportunities. What do you think about it? I mean, you can count it. Unfortunately, we did not have when the action started, especially that last one. Yeah. That last one was so clear. Everybody, Chindo had worked out that ball, and all he needed to do was send it in. But he had to delay and delay. What do you think about all those chances missed? Regrets? Do you think it might come to haunt you in the next game? What do you think about it?
I don't think that it's going to haunt us, because no matter what, we'll still stay top this weekend. We're having another good score that is going in our favor. Dynamo is leading column, so he's still in our favor. And the young man, Patrick Hanzongo, it was a bad day for him, because he scored the goal that brought us to the playoffs against Fuvo of Baham when we were tied at 2-2, getting almost to the end of the game. He scored the decisive goal. He had the opportunity to give us all the 3 points yesterday, but he failed to do that. It was just a bad day for him, and we spoke over it in the evening during our normal discussions, and the guy is okay getting into our next match, and he's ready to correct his errors if the coach give him another opportunity. I don't want to say that we are regretting that. We just take it as a normal something that can happen on any day to any player. And we are happy that we came out from that match. We avoided defeat in that particular match, because that match would have defined the course of the remaining 2 games for us. That particular 1 point changed everything, and we have 2 finals to play, ONI, and be preparing to come to Matazum to welcome the team as we take the trophy back to Bamenda. You know, many people did not believe that Young Sport Academy will be at this particular period.
I remember in Bonamusadi against Eding, you guys were fighting to stay in the championship.
To stay in the championship last season, and even at the start of this particular season, in our first 5 matches, we had 2 points out of 15. Many people knew that Yosta will be fighting another relegation battle this season. And then we went 5 matches undefeated, picking up 4 victories and a draw. And that is how we found ourselves where we are. Even during our last 2 games, like Mr. Tima was talking about referees, the mafia, let me put it that way, was planted in our match against Opopo in Limbe. But we were able to pick up a draw in that match, despite the fact that the points were still taken from the office. But we still managed to find ourselves in the playoffs up. And you know, before the start of the playoffs up, we had, many people rated us that we had 1% chance of winning of emerging champions.
Yes.
And now we're having 23, because we've defeated all the teams that were above us, and now we're having 23. We are second now, because Kotong Sport is having 26 and we're having 23. So everything is still open for us to play in the last 2 matches.
Everything is still open for you guys to play in the last 2 games. Well, let's go listen to coach of Kotong Sport of Garoua, Daniel Bread, and Deacon Bless, coach of Young Sports Academy.
Can't fight over spilled milk, because the children at the beginning, they don't respect the instruction I gave them. I told them, guys, on our defensive zone, our defensive third, play safe, play safe. You have guys who are very fast, you have guys who are more experienced than you, so play safe. 1-2 touches, play long. You saw before the goal came, Hamza made a mistake, Sage also made a mistake. The goalkeeper spoke, he took the ball out of the goalkeeper, because if he wanted to play with a clean intention, we could have not considered that goal. But after that, as I said, I cannot fight over spilled milk. Thanks to hard work and determination of the team, they expected the institution to do the halftime, and we went back with a point, and we can regret, but we are happy with the 1 point. I have to stay in the championship, but it's not easy. You know, my squad, I have 11 players in Bamenda. I have just 20 players here. With the fatigue playing after 48 hours, it's not easy. It's not easy. Recovery methods are not good for us in Cameroon. So you see, the guys are intense. So the same players are figuring because I have not a good squad. But if you look at other teams, they are changing players. But me, the same players. Shindo every day. It's Tage every day. Jibedo. Somewhere Hamza, who is fasting every day. So it's very, very difficult for us. We have 2 games to go, but we are going to do everything possible if we can still maintain at the first position.
Mes joueurs ont fait une très bonne partie, donc face à une bonne équipe de Young, on a bien maîtrisé leur point fort qui était le jeu rapide vers l'avant. Donc mon équipe l'a bien maîtrisé. On marque un but logique en première période. En seconde période, on est un peu moins présent offensivement. Donc on laisse un peu plus le ballon à Young qui nous percute un peu plus. Et donc à partir de là, dès l'instant que l'adversaire s'approche de notre but, on se met en difficulté de quelque chose qu'on ne maîtrise plus au football, c'est-à-dire des décisions qui sont autres que le football. Le football est un sport de contact. Le jeu de l'épaule est tout à fait valable dans le football. Donc surtout quand on sort de la surface de réparation. Donc voilà, donc j'ai tous les moyens de prendre le titre. Mes joueurs seront présents le prochain match dans le même investissement. Ils vont donner le meilleur d'eux-mêmes et puis on ira chercher les 3 points le prochain match. Et après viendra le 7e match. Nos adversaires directs ont aussi des matchs à faire. Il reste 2 matchs encore. Tant que le coup de sifflet final n'est pas sifflé, donc simplement on espère que le trio ne sera pas le même la prochaine match et le 7e match, c'est tout. Moi j'ai une éducation de respect de toutes les familles du corps du football, les dirigeants, les éducateurs, les arbitres, tout le monde. Là aujourd'hui je m'excuse, mais quand on siffle un penalty de cette façon-là, quand on vient vers nous à la pause fraîcheur, que l'arbitre de touche et l'arbitre du centre rigolent face à nous, non, je ne peux pas accepter. Je suis désolé. Maintenant si vous voulez on passe au football.
Goal après avoir donné le penalty contre Coton Sport of Garoua. Well, we're going to see that penalty situation, but I want us to look at these goals scored by Traoré, because I think this is when you look at the eyes of a defender from every point of that ball. Look at it at that end. He sends it. We have over 4 defenders. I mean, it was such. Sagut that takes that ball right in the hands of Anye. And we have Lovett there. We have Denis Che, who is just standing there. Nothing is done at that point, and it's a goal.
It's very normal in football, in the game of football. Mistakes are bound to be made. And when they've been made, they need to be corrected in the next episode. You know very well that after a particular action of this magnitude, it's true they lost concentration. Concentration was a problem.
Was it pressure?
Was the bedrock.
Oh, okay,
the pressure itself. You know what it means to play against Kotasoro Garwa, the almighty Kotasoro Garwa. You and I know very well when it comes to domestic football in this country. And so playing against Kotasoro Garwa, the pressure was so much on York Sport Academy. That the good thing at the end of the day was that they were able to settle on the 1-1 scoreline. That's the most important thing. I mean, that was my happiest day yesterday, to see Koton Sport settle on a 1-1 draw with Young Sport Academy, because it was a very determinant game between both sides. Whoever had the opportunity yesterday to beat each other would have been able to get up the pecking order. And so if Young Sport Academy was able to pull a 1-1 draw game with Koton Sport Garwa yesterday, then it was best. And now they are very conscious that the last 2 games is no longer under pressure. The only stumbling block they had along the line was just Koton Sport Garwa.
They are yet to play Colombe.
Forget about Colombe.
Colombe is
Young Sport Academy knows what to do. Young Sport Academy knows what to do.
As we're speaking, they have equalized. They have equalized against Dynamo, so it's currently 1-1 at the Bonamusadi Stadium.
Yeah. For sure, it's very true that Richard Toa has been doing so well with Colombe of Jai Lobo, no doubt. But you must not forget. You must not forget that the game of football has its mathematics and chemistry that you and I cannot best explain. It only determines during the 90 minutes of regular playing time or prolongation. Yeah. Now, the ball is on the court for the officials of Young Sport Academy, because I never expected them to come this far, looking at their challenges that they faced before coming to Douala. the game against Victoria United, the pre-match press conference, Coach Blaise Ndikum cried and said, we don't want this referee. And if at all they were able to manage the pressure against Victoria United, and then they were able to beat Victoria United 2-1, and then at this point in time they were able to play a 1-1 draw game with Kotosoro Garwa, then I think they are giving their opponents a good run for their money so far.
It's going to be interesting, giving their opponents a good run for their money. But now, I want you to look at this action, because this is where Daniel Breat says there was no penalty. If Gando can play us that, so no, because that he look at it from as a referee.
Beautiful dribble.
That's it. And
there is a contact there, and there is a penalty.
The coach, he was even talking about a shoulder. It's not even a shoulder. The player was like this, and the contact was on the leg.
Did not understand what happened.
Yes, there is a contact there, and
he says football sounds for the contact, so it was a light touch, and giving a penalty was severe. It's too severe to give a penalty at that point.
What is doing is paradox. What can you be saying something and you say the contrary of the thing? Football is made of contact.
That means I have to touch you in the field. That's what he means.
But it is only. It was not only touching there. It was about fouls. The defender committed a foul, and the referee has to sanction for the penalty. That's what he did.
So penalty was
the intention. Also, the defender never went for the ball. He never went for the. Look at Kinley.
His intention was to stop the player from running with the ball.
He never got to the ball, because if he was going for the ball, it ought to have been something else. Yeah, it was better. Look at it very well.
People just like criticizing these referees because it's true. They are themselves shot themselves on the leg.
Yes.
Because they have put in the minds to Cameroonians that they should not be trusted. But at one point in time, there are certain actions that we should not criticize these men.
Why did he not complain when they were playing Gazelle?
That's it.
Why did he not complain?
No, he talked about this action. He's talking about this action.
This action. Look at when there's a contact. There's a contact. Look at it very keenly. Look at.
If you even look at the action,
there is a contact.
Kotospor had a penalty against Gazelle. It's even very that one
because it was on their favor.
It was because it was
when it's ever against their favor, they criticize the men in black.
Well, I think
if you see Kotospor this year, it's not a good team.
Yeah,
this year Kotospor is not a good team.
Just get a look at it, right?
So despite the Mukokos, the Togas, and I must say we had.
They are all players.
They don't have a good team.
Mukoko is an old player.
It's not today he started playing football.
Yeah,
he has been there.
Mukoko started with Setef of Bonaberi.
That's it.
How many years today? He has been playing League One Championship.
What is he still playing for? If you want to take,
it's not old.
If you want to take his look at his age, there's age cheating in it.
Why would you say to Mr. Ngam, Luis, with the goalkeeper of Bafmeng? He's 40.
As a goalkeeper, no, it's different. It's quite different, please, because the age of a goalkeeper can play up to even 50. He can play, but why a player cannot? Someone running the.
But this one demonstrates that.
Fontra Shudefsi is having a goalkeeper of 41 years old goalkeeper. Fontra Shudefsi. I cannot make out the name now, but I'm talking about
Bafmeng.
Ngam Leonard is their first choice goalkeeper. He's still active.
And that's why Bafmeng has been conceding as many goals as possible.
He's the one that qualified the team to the playoff.
What do you mean?
That's not even the problem. The problem of Bafmeng.
Sometimes we should give youth the opportunity.
No, the problem in Bafmeng is
if
the youth are not improved, they are not showing that they are ready to play, and the old man is there to give the result. What do you want the coach to do?
Okay, well, let's listen to the man of the moment, Chindu John Bosco.
I'm very much happy for the game of today because I scored the goal to help my team, and that's a plus for me and my team. So I'm very much happy for the game of today. I have what it takes to play like 2 hours. So it's hard work, and I'm very much happy. I'm very much happy for this 1 point because Kotospor is a very tough side. So we prepared this game for everything, like for our fans and everything. So Coton Sport is a very tough side. Against Stade Rena, you know, Paku is my former coach of PW's Bamenda, and playing against him, it has always been difficult for me. So I had to revenge today against Coton Sport de Garoua. Pressure because we've maintained, and that was primary objective, to maintain the team. So right now we're just playing to be the champion with no pressure. So our upcoming game against Canon Sportif de Yaoundé, on va donner un fond, on va mouiller le maillot. I'm very much happy for the game of today because I scored the goal to help my team, and that.
Very happy because he scored the goal to help his team win, and he has been on the score sheet for 3, if I'm not mistaken. It's match day 5, right?
Yeah.
So for 4 of these games, he has been on the score sheet. He has scored
6 goals.
6 goals.
6 goals. Yeah.
5 matches.
The 7 goals he also has scored. He has scored 6.
It's crazy. I mean, the stats, you look at it from that, even though we're analyzing the penalty, but he defeated 1-2 defenders before he got that penalty and scored it for Young Sports Academy. But one person I'm really missing in this championship is Mujibu.
Mujibu Rahman.
Yes, I think he's a great player, if not for the double identity.
He's going to play our last match. He was suspended for 6 matches. Match number 6 is against Kanong. Match number 7, hopefully we're going to have him.
Therefore, it's going to be a firebrand match.
So I'm guessing they're going to reshuffle the team?
Yes, the 6 players that were suspended for 6 matches when Opopo wrote their protest against us. The match number 6 is against Kanong, and hopefully we're hoping to have some of them back for match number 7.
And the fasting will be over also.
Yeah.
Ramadan is on Thursday. It's going to be an interesting one. But looking at the fact that, you know, Kanong, you're playing Kanong next. They have lost to Dynamo, to Victoria United today. Heavy scoreline, 3-0. Is that some sort of fear? Because, you know, Coach Onana would want to do something against Young Sports, who are leaders at this point. It's a way of convincing his employers that I'm up to the task, you know, against, in case you're keeping me for the Cameroon Cup.
Oni, we are not afraid of any opponent in this playoffs because we don't have anything to lose. We take every match like a fight. We don't. If you see the way we played against Stade Rena, despite the fact that we did not manage to pick up a point in that match, the players are playing the same football. They are playing football now to enjoy themselves. Yeah. They are playing football now to enjoy themselves. Nobody expected them to be at this level. These guys have played football for 6 months. They have received 2 months' salary. But they are still giving their all, which means that they know what is lying ahead of them, and they want to prove a point that despite the fact that the money is not coming, they can have their money through another means. Most of them are here to showcase their talents to the world, because Young Sports Academy now, we are purely for business, despite the fact that we want to also win trophies for the memory of Pa Young. This is the 20th anniversary of Young Sports Academy, and we want to celebrate this 20th anniversary in grand style by going back home with the Elite One trophy that nobody expected us to win at the start of the season. So the players, we are not afraid of any opponent. We tackle each match the way it comes, the same play style. If you have watched all our matches, we begin play 3 at the back, 5 in the midfield, and 2 up front. When we score our goal, depending on how you are playing, we change our formation and we play our normal football. That is Young Sports Academy. That is how we have been tackling all our matches from the first day of play against Gazelle. Gazelle played us, but we won the match.
True. No,
yes, Gazelle played, but we won the match. Even Opopo played with the help of the referee. That one was clear. That one was clear. Opopo played with the help of the referee. But at the end of the day, we still won the match. That is just the spirit that the boys have, and the guys are ready to fight for this badge, to fight for Young Sports Academy.
What went wrong against Stade Rena? 100%.
Stade Rena has always been a stumbling block. They have been a stumbling block on our flesh this season. All the 3 matches we have played against them, 1-0.
Only the problem with Stade Rena of Melon is that Opopo Stade Rena has give some rest to their players, and the young sport academy, all the players are playing all the games, and they start and they go through the end of the game. But the disappointment with me is that Pa Young is not there to witness this generation to witness what this generation is doing, because with the Pa Young's existence, this young sport academy of Amanda has not yet done what this generation is doing.
Well, I guess this generation would write history for Pa Young.
At least they did so. We had a generation in 2013 when they won the Cup of Cameroon.
Cup of Cameroon.
So it's just that a generation to generation, they come and they go. Yeah. Coach Ndubemboso was there in 2013 when they won the Cup of Cameroon, and it's no longer there. It's better that another coach who is there, another team, another players who are there, they should be able to write their own names in blueprint. We have already blessed Ndikum, who is living, marching towards the step of Ndubemboso at the helm of Young Sport Academy. I think we just at this point in time, all what they need is just a massive support that they have already in Douala. Douala seems to be a melting pot of supporters, but the only regret I have at this point in time is to have a team like Stade Renard of Melon, which of course does not have a fan base in the nation's economic capital, Douala. Yes, they're in the Mongo division, but in the Mongo division, Littoral region, yes, what do we have there as a football? It's important that in a competition of this magnitude, like the playoff, because it's the highest point of tournament we have in the country. After the normal championship we have the playoff, which is the highest category of tournament we have. After this, the players will have to go on a recess. So we think they should think, or the management should think, or have a rethink about creating a fan base. Watching their game yesterday at the Mbappe Lepe Stadium, and then not seeing a supporter, just even one, supporting Stade Renard of Melon was not a good sign.
Yes, I would
when playing a game, you expect to have supporters cheer you up, cheer you to victory. But when you are playing and nobody is there to cheer you up, it's like throwing a water on the back of a deck, which I think the management need to sit up again.
Yes.
And correct that. Yes.
If I may say something on what he's saying, I will say that Young Sport Academy Stade Renard of Melon is a team that belongs to a particular zone in the Mungo. It's not a mythic team. The mythic team in the Mungo is Aigle Royal de Nkonsamba. If Aigle Royal de Nkonsamba was playing, you will see that many supporters have gone.
Young Sport Academy is
a team
so. Young Sport Academy
of Bamenda is
you guys.
To that,
I need to query you guys.
I want to let me just chip on something.
But Young Sport is a mythic team like now, because in Northwest we had only two teams in the first division.
No. There's something that I want to talk about. This fan base, you know, Young Sport and PWs of Bamenda. If you want to look Aigle of Jang and Raseng, just Bambutus. They have a strong fan base. Why? Because the management
started from somewhere,
and they had to accept the supporters,
and that is just
to
what I'm
create
talking.
small groups. I'm talking like a player that once passed through those clubs. Sometimes in PWs of Bamenda and even Young Sport Academy, you will not deny this fact that the 100 francs that comes from the supporters is what is actually surviving that Young Sport Academy today.
Yeah, right.
Because without that 100 francs that they are giving, Young Sport never ought to have been where they are today. Because I know the inside of Young Sport Academy, the management is really suffering. But they had to accept the supporters to come in and look at Young Sport today.
Perhaps they will tell you that they don't have any problem with finance. That's why they pay their players regularly.
The problem is that these other teams like Aigle Royal of Mongo need to accept and form a recognized supporter group in every of these regions. And that's why you see we have received Young Sport here, the fan base here, and the other people that are living from the other regions, usually come and will chip in what they can chip and go to the field to support the players. It's the same thing that
it might even interest you to know.
Doors to support us.
Open doors to
it might
support
even
us.
interest you to know that perhaps they are not even having a fan base even in Melon. Because they're not open-handed. You need to open your arms,
not like that.
Attract them to come, give them the confidence.
They need supporters. The problem is that
but they should put them in
there's a new club. There's a new club.
It is boring to play football match without having
this club is
supporters.
not 10 years already.
It's not the problem.
You cannot compare it with
It's not the problem.
You can equally start from
40
today,
or
and you have the fan base.
Or 50 years.
Just to...
There are clubs that are in the regional level, but they have a fan base. Look at Puma FC. When Puma FC is playing Mbappé,
you cannot compare Puma to Puma. You cannot compare Puma to Star Renard because Puma is a team that is existing since 2000.
Let me
let us talk of a new created club that has not even been 5 years.
Not the credit in 2015.
For example,
2015. It's 9 years. Look at Ice of Hope. Have you watched a match of Ice of Hope playing in Limbe?
Don't even go far in Limbe, go in Bafusam.
In Bafusam, now presently you see a man crowd that comes to support
supporters who are there.
People leave from Limbe to go and support on match day. What about Bafumé United?
Bafumé United, I mean, I know people from Bafumé, and it was just something of
that free will to
from somewhere before getting to.
True.
You need to have that free will to support football.
Yes.
I for one, do you think that I'm supporting Bafumé United because I support because it's a club that comes from the region which I come from. That's why I support all the clubs.
Okay, so people should be open.
So people have to be open to do that.
All the clubs that come from your region.
Football brings development for sure,
and even peace and unity.
Yeah, thank you. But I want to actually turn my query letter to Young Sports Academy because whenever you go to the field, I will dance all the South. You know, the reading from the South. I will dance it. I will come to Dynamo and dance all of what they have to offer. Everything. But what is happening? Grassfield, you guys are not hitting it. All the Bamenda sounds, we needed those.
We needed to bottle down.
The last game against Colomb, because you know Colomb usually brings, their culture, the fanfare, everything. Young Sports.
Definitely, we are going to work on that.
Sports.
The supporters have already started working on that.
They were there. Yes, we had the supporter group that were always animating from.
I'm not refusing.
You just need to bring them.
Yes. That's why I said they from the match of yesterday. As I read it in their group, they were already struggling to gather the guys ahead of the next match. So definitely, I'm sure the traditional dance group is going to be there.
So we're going to dance.
Hopefully.
Okay.
The only team in Northwest that was that have seen the supporters dancing was Bangbulet of Nkambe. I saw.
He says he saw it. You cannot.
When Bangbulet of Nkambe was playing, you will see supporters on the tribune playing and dancing.
What about Peter Bito Bamenda?
I've never seen PWG.
You have never seen
No, this last time PWG has been senatorial. Please, their fans have been senatorial. They'll just come and their senators, they'll just sit in the stands, they will shout. No, we need you guys to...
They're all diplomatic supporters.
Diplomatic supporters, indeed.
Even your squad, and that's why I said the only team that used to dance is Bangbulet of Nkambe.
Yeah, even Bafemen, they dance. The last time they played here in...
I've never watched
Okay, Bafemen, but I've watched it and they know how to dance. Well, moving away from that, I want to talk about Gazelle and Stade Rina. It was, you say, you feel the referee was unjust at some issues, Wanairi.
Yeah, there were actions that I think, and I believe solely, that the real central referee was not being fair. The yellow card he issued around the 26th minute of play in the first segment of that particular game was very unjust. That's in the hands of Stade of Melon. And he puts the question about why you see Cameroonians do not have that confidence with the men in black. I remember some time ago in 2015, I was covering the game UMS of Loom against Union Sportive of Douala in Loom. This was the same problem we encountered. And we cried foul for those who manage football in this country to school those who wear black. That's the men in black, or we call them referees.
Yes.
To try to make sure that the beauty of this game of football lies in their palms. How well they officiate a particular game will be determined because not only Cameroonians are watching this playoff, not only Cameroonians are following the championships. We have Cameroonians who are out of this country. They are following this live stream of different games that have been played.
True.
So we think that it's very important for us, the referees, to practice the needful, that which they were taught in school, to respect the deontology that governs football. When it comes to a point in time when you see an action and a referee decides to let it go, another action or same action, a referee decides to issue a yellow card, it puts to question that what equally happened with the first action, that a yellow card was not issued or a warning was not issued. They start telling you that that's particularly because the referee is working in favor of a particular team. Now they already know, like Coach Bless told us during the pre-match press conference, that he doesn't know why that particular referee has always been
officiating
the game between Victoria United and Young Sport Academy.
Most of his games, not just Victoria United.
That's the problem. It's a problematic issue. We are neglecting it today, but do not be surprised tomorrow that it becomes something else. And before the referee was, at the end of that game, Gazelle started on Melon.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks to the police officials, the police had to coordinate and guard the referee and the assistant to go into the dressing room. That is why. I mean, this is the kind of issue that we want.
No, and I want to add something to what you were just saying, and to talk about the yellow card that actually had to lead to the red card. Yeah, but if you want to say, for me, there were some other actions that we could.
That was just an example.
Yeah, there are some other actions that we could say the referee was not correct, but to that. At the 26th minute, when the central defender of Stade Renard of Melon was being issued a yellow card, it was just. And even on the second segment of the game, at the 72 minute that he had to, they gave him another. He was being issued another yellow card. It was very correct because he was at the point of the last defender. At that action, he was at the point of the last defender, and he had to bring down, stop the attacker of Gazelle,
okay,
whom he was actually going directly to score a goal, and the card was given. But it's true that the game was at the given time it was not really all that. And I want to say the referees need to be very, very just, and they need to be very correct because, as you said, the game and the beauty of the game lies in the hands
of the referees.
And if Mr. Foku Kamga is actually getting what we are saying, he should correct it right now before the end of this last two playing this, because
this is the peak of it all.
Obviously, the
very
peak.
delicate.
The truth is that most of these games are not only played on the pitch. That's the truth about it.
Now,
you want out at the end of this program, I'm going to tell you where that particular match was played. The referee of that match, Mr. Nga Willie, that's the referee of that match. He's a FIFA referee. He handled our match, Young Sport Academy against Victoria United in Buda.
Oh, you lost?
Yeah.
We lost. We had our issues in that match, which led to Victoria United scoring their second goal because they won us 2-0, which now was a problem with the first goal. It was his officiating was questionable. So the problem is, I'll tell you how the referee behaved, why he behaved the way he behaved, because like Mr. Tima said earlier on, the champions have already been designated. And so everything was being done to kill Stade Renard in that particular, because Stade Renard is one of the most dangerous teams for any team to play in this competition. If Stade Renard had taken the 3 points of yesterday, the last 2 days would have been completely different. Because Stade Renard has to play Coton Sport and Victoria United.
You can imagine.
So you can now know how that particular match was played.
No, out
of the field of play. That particular match was played somewhere else.
You know, David Pagel made the same statement that he thinks the referees were playing that match in favor of another team. He mentioned Young Sports, he mentioned Column, he mentioned Coton. Well, let's go listen to post-match interviews. Yes, let's go listen to them.
Il faut avouer que c'est notre première victoire dans ce tournoi. On a joué d'autres où on a vraiment dominé, maîtrisé, mais ce match-ci, je pense que les enfants ont été un peu sur un nuage en début de match. surtout par rapport à la prestation qu'on a eu à livrer face à Coton Sport. Mais néanmoins, ce qu'on peut retenir, c'est le résultat et la réaction des enfants en deuxième partie qui nous a permis de prendre ces 3 points qui nous relancent non seulement dans la course, mais également pour les matchs à venir. Ça nous donne beaucoup de la confiance. C'est la première fois qu'on marque 2 buts dans ce tournoi et nous espérons pouvoir au moins ne serait-ce s'accrocher le podium. Donc les prochains matchs, les 2 derniers matchs seront cruciaux et nous espérons pouvoir toujours obtenir ce résultat.
I'm very sad because the referees are not come to blow the match. They come to make Gazelle win because of I don't know. Perhaps Gazelle play for another team. Coton, Colombe, Yos, I don't know. But you see, when you see that kind of referee, you see that it's not correct. It's very very injustice. C'est vrai qu'on a manqué des occasions pour revenir au score, mais quand l'arbitre cherche à vous donner un carton rouge, parce qu'on a vu en premier mi-temps, mon défenseur central n'est même pas concerné par la faute, mais il le cherche pour lui donner un deuxième carton jaune. Donc, et en deuxième mi-temps, on a vu que c'est une faute qui n'existe pas. Il donne un deuxième carton jaune à mon défenseur qui donne un carton rouge. Et voilà, on est diminué. Et puis, à partir de ce moment-là, c'est difficile. Je sais que beaucoup d'équipes veulent être championnes. We have played all the matches to win. We have played all the matches to win. So we expect that the referees are going to be very good, very just. So that's the way.
You've listened to David Pago. He's hoping that the referees will be just in their next game, because at this point they're still on 6 points, and if you want to look Victoria United on 9, it's quite a dangerous situation seeing that we just have 2 games to play. And 6, and I don't think they can overturn it at this point, because they're on 6. If they manage to get 6, they'll be on 12. It can be. So the floor is still open for Stade Rennais of Melon. Well, what do you think about it? Can Stade Rennais finish on the podium?
Everything is possible. Everything has chance for its time. So we just hope that these last 2 days, the referees, my only problem, and I continue to cry,
is the referee.
Is the referees.
Okay, well,
let those men in black respect
themselves.
What they were taught in school to do on the turf. Because if not, don't forget about the story of Tarzan de Mutengene.
Okay.
Never you forget the story of the Tarzan of Mutengene. If you ask anyone, he will tell you.
Okay.
The referee was never able to get to his house. He was mercilessly beaten.
Oh.
So we should not want the same replica of what happened again. Okay. Because at the point in time, young sport has the opportunity. Every team wants to be a champion.
True.
But then, let the gods of Cameroon football
let them be fair.
Bless the designed winner.
Okay, well, just a quick look at Elite 2. Well, the Elite 2 playoff up. Edin Sport defeated Panthère Sportive 3-1. Racine played a 0 tie with Aigle. Bafoumer United played a 2 draw with Dragon, while Gico played a vacant tie with Tonnet Calara Club. And in the play-off down in the MTN Elite 1 Championship, AS Fortuna defeated Les Astres de Douala by 1-0. Bambutus of Buddha played a 0-all draw with Union Sportive. Feu Vazu defeated UMS of Lune by 1-0. Apajes defeated Avion, their first win in the season.
Second win.
First win. Congrats to Apajes, defeated Avion 1-0. PWD played a 0 draw against Aigle Royal of the Menoir. Well, that is how we saw it. Union Sportive's top in the playoff down table, 9 points, followed by Bambutus on 8 points, AS Fortuna on 8, Astre on 7. Astre has come back to, winning in their first games, then losing. It's always difficult with Astre of Douala. But that's it. We'll see match day 6. For Elite 2, it starts tomorrow. No time to rest. Tomorrow for Elite 2 teams. Wow, I'm thinking between Friday and Saturday, or Thursday and Friday, we will see
Elite 1.
Elite 1. So make sure you go to the stadium to support these games in Yaoundé, in Douala, in Bafoussam, in Bafang, and in Buda. Support these teams and come with your drums. Yosa has promised us drums. So hopefully we will see that in the next edition. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for honoring my invite. That's how we saw it. Have a wonderful time. See you same time, same station, obviously next week Tuesday. Bye-bye.